Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing all right this morning. This is Mitch coming to you live. Are you alive this morning? I feel alive. Coming to you live from the Lamppost Coffee Shop in Austin. Sun's out. Should be a nice day. Things have calmed down a little bit in the coffee shop this morning. Boy, it was busy like crazy this morning. Around 9 o'clock. It's usually really busy around 9 and then it starts to calm down a little bit. As you can see here, things have gotten a little quieter. It's not so bad any. But I mean, earlier, about an hour ago, this place was packed. People just going crazy. You can see my setup here. We got our gear. We got our stuff set up, ready for the stream. So we hope you guys are doing okay this morning. We're just hanging out. If you're stopping by, remember to jump into chat. We want to start a conversation. We want to talk today. We want to hang out. And I want to know what's going on in your world. We are basically talking social media and YouTube and trying to get a grip on what it means to post videos and build channels and become active on social media. So I'm doing these live streams just to provide us a place to hang out, to chat, to talk, and hopefully provide some value as we go along the way. I'm putting something in chat right now. I forgot to put in my welcome message. Welcome to live from the Lamppost Coffee Shop. All right, so if you find us on YouTube, stop by, check us out, leave a comment, jump into chat, or just hang out with us. It is cold in here. Man, oh man. So I've got my hoodie. I'm trying to continue to get comfortable with OBS and all the things that we can do in OBS. And it would be much easier if I had somebody helping me who was off camera, switching between scenes and setting up camera angles and adjusting the audio and all that kind of stuff. But here I am all alone doing it myself. And so if you notice, sometimes I get distracted. That's the reason. It's because I'm playing around with this stinking control panel. But that's part of going live. That's part of doing public broadcasting, with people coming and going and stopping by to say hi and smiling. And you've got crying babies in the background, and you've got noise from the kitchen, and you've got people on their cell phones and yakking away. So all of it is fun trying to deal with it. And the hardest thing to remember is to have a plan. Kind of know what's going on with your day, because unless you get some folks in chat to help you, you're pretty much on your own. So you're sort of on your own when you're doing this live streaming stuff, unless you've got some people who can drop into chat and help you out, give you some directions. Otherwise, you've got to come up with some content on your own. You've got to figure out, okay, what am I going to do today? Let's say I want to stream for an hour I've got to come up with an hour's worth of content, and hopefully content that will be of value. So that's what this is all about. Now then, what I think I'm going to do is start coming up with a lineup for the day, and this is what I've got planned for today. It's similar to what we've been doing. Right, let's see. And right now we're just hanging out. That's step number one. Always want to just get going, get the juices flowing, get some tea and honey in us, and get comfortable with the surroundings for the day. And just sort of hang out. So jump into chat. Let me know what's going on. I would like to go live on Facebook as well, but my problem is it causes the Wi-Fi to lag. And I guess it's because I'm pulling both Wi-Fis at the same time. I'm pulling both the live feed from Facebook directly and the live feed from YouTube directly, and it overwhelms the coffee shop's Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi here is pretty strong, but you've got other people in here also on their laptops, and they're also on the Wi-Fi, and so by the time I stream on YouTube and also then stream on Facebook, it really starts to drag, and so I guess I'd have to go through a third-party streaming service to stream on multiple platforms at once. That way you're not draining the power so much. You're just draining the Wi-Fi to that streaming service, that one place, instead of two or three or four. I mean, I'd like to go live on TikTok. I'd like to go live on my Patreon. I'd like to go live on Snapchat. Go live on Instagram. It'd be fun to do all of those at the same time. I'm not sure I want to pay the money right now to stream on those multiple platforms, especially since this is new and I'm still learning the ropes and still getting comfortable with the setup and getting comfortable with going live. So, especially going live from a coffee shop. It's one thing to go live from your office at home or from your bedroom, and that's another thing to go live from a public location, from a public setting. And I know some people are asking me, well, why do you want to go live from a coffee shop? And I think it's because part of it is because of the attention factor. I want people to see what I'm doing. I want them to get curious. I want them to ask me why I'm here, and not a day goes by that somebody will stop by and say, I notice you've got all your studio equipment and stuff hung out here. You got a microphone and all this stuff, and I'm just wondering what you're doing. And then I can sort of engage them at that point. So it's fun to do things in public, to get out of the house, get out of the office, and to get out where the people are, so to speak. And I wonder if there's a way that I could, when the weather's nice and there's some outdoor activities going on here, that I could actually move outside and do an outside streaming service. Now that would be fun. I would have to have power, of course. I use 2 or 3 plugs, and with all the stuff I've got to plug in, so that would be and then I would have to of course have Wi-Fi service. So it could be done, and I think at some point it would be fun, especially during the summer, hang out outside and do live streaming outside. So, well, let's see. If you're gonna drop in, if you're gonna see what we're up to this morning, why don't you drop into chat and say hi? I don't want to sit here and talk to myself all day, but that may be the case. You never know. we're starting to try to build an audience. That's part of it. Trying to let people know what we're doing. We want to be consistent, and we're here every weekday at 10 a.m. We've bumped us up an hour. We started out at 9 a.m. and I went for about 20 live streams at 9 a.m. and now I've bumped it up to 10 and see how the 10 o'clock hour works. So we'll let that go for a while and see how it goes. Well, let's start off with some questions. Kind of see. I've got some questions here that I've come across. People have asked, and I've got a whole bunch of questions I'm going through, and I try to go through 3 or 4 questions a day. So let's see what we got this morning. What's the difference between a subscriber and a real fan? Let's think about that for a minute. What do you think? The difference between a subscriber and a real fan. What do you think? Give me some help. We know what subscribers are, right? I mean, if I were to ask you what a subscriber is, it's pretty obvious what a subscriber is. A subscriber may or may not watch your video. They often casually or out of just being nice will click that subscriber button. But that doesn't mean that they'll ever come back. I mean, people will hit that subscribe button because they want to be nice, and they'll say, well, I'll help this guy out, we'll subscribe. It's just sort of hitting the like button. So subscribers may or may not be loyal. They may not ever come back to your channel. I would like to see the percentages. That's something I might check out, is the percentages of subscribers who are one-time clickers. You know, they hit the subscribe button of a channel and then never come back. I bet the number's pretty high. So there's this idea of people hitting that subscribe button often just casually, and they may not watch your videos at all on a regular basis. They might have subscribed to my channel maybe once or twice, or if I was giving some sort of a giveaway or doing some sort of a contest, they may have subscribed. I have subscribed to some people just to help them out. I'll be in chat on a live stream with a bunch of other YouTubers or something, and I'll start having a conversation with someone in chat and check their channel out and subscribe to them, and I have no intention at all of becoming a loyal follower or loyal watcher. But in that way, I'm sort of a casual subscriber, so subscribers don't necessarily have a personal connection. And that's what I want. I want good subscribers. It's one thing to have 1,000 subscribers, and it's another thing to have 100 subscribers who are really loyal fans. So what's a fan? Well, a fan will watch most of your videos. They'll see the notification and they'll come to your channel and they'll look out, they'll look at your next video. Sometimes they'll look at a video more than once. They'll find something that's helpful or entertaining and they'll watch it more than once. They engage in comments too. Real fans will show their loyalty by spending time in comments and at least saying something to you, often in a personal nature. Hopefully they'll jump into chat. They'll commonly post something somewhere, either a comment or in chat. So your loyal customer base the ones that show up regularly in comments and in your chat. I think loyal fans also probably will share your content with others. They will get their friends, family involved, and perhaps recommend your channel people they know to their sphere of influence, which can be really helpful, because if they can help you spread the word among their own circle of influence, then that's what you want. So that's what loyal fans will do. And I think some fans, as opposed to subscribers, get this emotional connection, this idea of being feeling like they're a part of your theme, they're a part of what you're doing. They feel like there's a real personal connection, and you feel like, okay, I've made a new friend. This is somebody that I can relate to, and somebody that I can engage with, and somebody I can have a conversation with, even though you may never see them in person. You may never talk to them on the phone. You may never even share emails. But they will be there. They will be there in comments, and they will be there in the live chats if you do a live stream, and they will hang out with you. So, and I think also, if you've got some really loyal fans, they will follow you onto other platforms. They'll follow you on Patreon if you have a Patreon page. They'll follow you over to Instagram on your Instagram channel. If you've got a TikTok account, they'll go to your TikTok account. They will buy merch as well. If you sell t-shirts, if you try to come up with merch to help, to help build your brand, to help build your personal brand, they will also purchase merch. They'll give you a super chat. They will help you with small gifts here and there to financially help you. So what we're looking for here are real fans. Fans that will really be loyal. So is it better to have 3,000 subscribers and 90% of them be casual? Or would it be better to have 500 subscribers and all of them be loyal, be engaged, feel like they have this personal connection? And I think that's one way that we can build our channel in the right way, is to try to develop this personal connection between you and between me. There's got to be some sort of connection going on here. It comes with being authentic, comes with being real. You're not trying to sell or manipulate or somehow take advantage of your viewers. You're wanting to reach out and make connections and make a personal connection. That's the kind of fans that we want. That's the kind of subscriber we want. So, what's the difference between a subscriber and a real fan? Well, what are some good habits every creator should build early on? Well, what do you think? We always hear about those habits like consistency. You want to be consistent. We hear a lot about authenticity. You want to be real. You want to be yourself. We hear about systems, building systems, and having things built in such a way to make your job easier, to plan in advance, to build in systems that will help you know what to do each day, to give you sort of a game plan. What's another habit? Well, let's see. I guess we need to Consistency. Be authentic. What else? There's got to be some other habits. I think about my own journey and my own walk here. I've got 4 YouTube channels, and I'm trying to build them all. I want to get all 4 channels monetized, which is nuts when you think about it. Usually you want to just have one channel. I don't recommend you have 4 channels. But I've been doing this for on and off for 10 years, and just recently, over the last year, I've started to get serious. And so the way my interests are, I get bored so easy, I have to have 4 channels to keep me engaged. So I guess another habit is to not get discouraged. Are you discouraged? Can we somehow stay positive? Is that a habit? Is staying positive a habit? I think it is. I think maybe we need to develop a habit of looking on life as a positive rather than a negative, and not get discouraged. When I look at the subscribers on my 4 channels that I'm starting, it would be great if I could get those subscriber numbers up. But I know it takes time. I'm realistic. I'm not trying to push it. I'm trying to necessarily set a goal for a certain number of subscribers by a certain day, because there's just too many variables. There's too many things that you have to try to deal with. And so I just try to stay positive, and I try to stay passionate, and I try to stay in love with what I'm doing. If I enjoy what I'm doing, then everything else will fall into place. And so maybe try staying positive and avoid the negative. And that means avoiding negative people. That means if those who are in chat or who are leaving comments that are negative, you want to ignore them. I want to build my life around people who are positive, people who are enjoying life, and people who are looking on life in positive terms. And we see enough negative as it is. So in terms of habits, consistency, authenticity, positivity, being positive. Those are some good habits. And having systems in place, that's another one. Get in the habit of building everything you do into a system. Have it fit into some sort of a major game plan, so that you have some sort of platform, some sort of foundation on which to build. You can't build a house without a proper foundation. And the foundation for us would be our systems that are in place. And I've been thinking about this idea of systems for a long time. Ever since I started this live stream, I've been thinking about, that is a lot of live streaming. You go every day, Monday through Friday, for an hour or more. What kind of system do I need to put in place to make sure I have the content that I want to share, the value, the thumbnails, the marketing of the live stream to let people know what I'm doing? All of that takes planning. And so I've been thinking about what systems need to be put in place. And of course, that also includes the actual making of long-form videos and short-form videos, and doing that across 4 channels. So it sounds like an impossible task, but I think with proper systems in place, with proper planning, I think we can accomplish a lot more. Instead of wasting our time, we want to use every minute of every day working within that plan, working within that system. So, in terms of habits, well, let's do one more question. What do we got here? Let's see. How can I grow without relying on trends? Well, the term I think about when I think about trends, the opposite of that would be the term evergreen. I think in terms of evergreen, I'm thinking of the term like an evergreen tree. You know, the evergreen tree will stay green all year long. When I was growing up in North Texas, we had a couple of evergreen trees in our yard, and they were, I don't know what you call them, fern trees. They were sort of at the corner of the house, and they were green the year round. And so when you're talking about trends, you're talking about things that are happening in the culture that will come and go. Trends will not last. That's why they're called trends. Think of some current trends right now on YouTube. What are some current trends on YouTube right now? Well, let's see. There's the travel trend. Some of these YouTubers are making videos on the road. They're getting in their car, they're flying across the country, and they're visiting tourist spots, and they're making videos about staying in the 5 most luxurious hotels in Paris or something like that. You see all kinds of YouTubers doing that kind of thing, the travel trend. And then in terms of thumbnails, I think a trend was having a face on your thumbnail that was making some sort of a weird expression. How many thumbnails do you see people making with people making expressions? You know, they're going, or going, or looking, you know, looking stupid. That was a trend for so long, where everybody had to have some sort of weird expression on their thumbnail. And you still see a lot of it, but I think that trend is going away. Now, in terms of evergreen, what we're talking about with evergreen is going to not change. It's going to be information, whether it be content that you're making or whether it be the way that you handle your channel. It's not going to change. Everything is going to be the same. For 5 years in a row, you're going to adopt a strategy. You're going to adopt a method of doing thumbnails, and the way you produce your videos, they're all going to be similar. They're going to be, the idea is to be evergreen so that they're not dated. They won't change. And evergreen content is going to be good today, and it'll be a good 2 years from now. So what's better? Trends come and go. Evergreens tend to last much longer, if not forever. So what kind of content should we be making? We can't rely on trends, but we probably need to take advantage of them. But we also probably need to build in some evergreen content. So it's not a question of either or. It's more of and. We want videos and content that follow the trends, but we also want content that is evergreen. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be both. Well, let's see. Anybody in chat? What's going on? Stop by. Let me know what's going on here. Say something in comments. Let me know you're live. Well, let's see. What's next on our lineup? Are we ready for a channel video critique? I came across a Just by chance, the other day I came across this really funny video that I want to share with you. I have no idea who this guy is. Let me look at his, if I can see his title. It looks like it's Den USA, Denusa. DENUSA is his channel name. And I was immediately drawn to him because he's just so real. He's just so authentic. He just really doesn't give a rap about, he doesn't care about video quality. He doesn't care about audio. He doesn't care about anything but just getting on camera and talking to us about what he's up to. And it's really refreshing. So I thought I would share that with you guys. Let's take a look.
Good evening to an end of a very windy day 12 of our Arizona adventure, and well, we made it to Yuba, Arizona. The morning went pretty well. We started out at Organ Pipe, and first we went down to Lukesville down towards the border, and got coffee, we ate breakfast, then we kind of rolled back to the campground, and then we took down the tent and then drove the mile to the visitor center. And well, when we got to the visitor center, we figured out we really didn't need to go on miles and miles of exploring because, well, we could find everything right around where the visitor center was.
You gotta love this guy.
So we just photographed a lot of cacti and some flowers and such. And then we drove north through Y again, and then up to Ajo. I took some pictures out there. Had our first successful rock hunting outside of town. I found malachite, which is green copper material, and well, it was a really good time. And then we tried to find the campground that's on the north side, but sort of did, sort of didn't.
Okay. You gotta love this guy, right? Am I crazy? Isn't this guy great? We're gonna take a look at his channel here in a minute. I want to pull up a couple more of his videos. When you talk about authenticity, this has it pretty much nailed.
And then we just did the 60 miles to Gila Bend on the interstate, I-10, and that's where we had lunch at McDonald's. Real exciting. And then real exciting, we did about 110 miles down to Yuma. And it's where we are now. We'll talk about the rest on the next video, if I don't get blown away.
Okay, was that great or what? I mean, really? All right, I found him. I found his channel. We're gonna go up and take a look at his channel. I wish people wouldn't have these preview videos on their channels that start blasting noise when you click on it. All right, here's his channel. And I'm just real curious about who this guy is. Very funny. What's he saying in his description? What's he saying in his description here? trains and travel in the central western region of the USA. Places to visit, camp, transit videos, and rail fan videos is the focus of the channel. I do have a number of Philippine videos. However, currently I can only get them about every other year. So what does that refer to? He's got 466 subscribers. So looks like trains and the rail and the traveling the central part of America is his focus. Let's look at his thumbnails. No text, which is okay. Believe it or not, only half of the thumbnails on YouTube have any text at all. I think the numbers the numbers in an analysis I just saw recently was like 46% of the thumbnails on YouTube have no text. So that still leaves the majority, over 50%, do, but it's okay to have a thumbnail with no text. This is the video we just watched. Very hot and windy. Let's pull up another one. Let's pull up this one. Campgrounds north of Yuma, Arizona. A guide to undiscovered campgrounds of America. Premieres November the 19th. Okay, it's not even on yet. This is something that is, it says, is that going to be like a series or just an upcoming video? It says premieres November the 19th. So that's not a video yet. Huh. Well, okay. Let's see what else we got. What about this one?
Hello, everybody. We are at...
Let me see if I can adjust it here so we can get the full... All right.
the Universal Ranch RV Park in Arivanca, Arizona. If you need to know where Arivanca is, well, you're not looking hard enough. It's very small. It's in southern Arizona. We're about 10 miles north of the Mexican border. We're about maybe 60, 80 miles east of Organ Pipe and about 30 miles or so west of...
Okay, he needs to get a windshield for his microphone. But does he care? Probably not. Does he even know what a windshield is? He might. He's probably a lot smarter and more sophisticated than I'm giving him credit for. But I do like his presentation, his presence on screen.
I-19 and
his greatness.
Publicity Committee over there is Tubac, which is a tourist trap. You don't believe me? Go visit it. Anyways, so we're not going to stay here because obviously it's like 12 noon right now. Besides the campground here, you have a thrift store. Their claim to fame is unnecessary necessities, jewelry, rocks, bells, and more. Now, if you want to stay here, you need to text or call that, and you book online for this one. There was.
So these are hidden treasures for RVers, RV parks. Well, let's skip a little further ahead here. It's a 15-minute, 16-minute video. I love that hat.
3 sites here. They're all full electric sites. I'm not sure if some of them are full hookups, but we're tent people, not car campers, not RVers. But you see, most of the surfaces are dirt, but there are trees that you can put up a tent under and some grass. They do have some fire rings, but I would call ahead about that.
Now notice we've got a great shot here of his chest. His head is cut off by the camera. But he doesn't care.
I would doubt that they're going to give you permission to have a campfire.
Oh, you must have heard me. He backed up.
Drought for quite a while now. The bathrooms are over here.
Yeah, we need to know where the bathrooms are. Well, let's move ahead here.
Generally no campfires, and there's dirt here, a lot of dirt here. So, and the shade is somewhat limited. So, it's slightly above average, but I think this is a really good choice if you're staying anywhere in the area, and it's a great place to base camp out of because, well, frankly, there really isn't any other place that you can stay that has any facilities whatsoever for a 50-mile range.
Very good. And he's using these end screens to send people to other videos on his channel. So he's got that, doing that right. Well, I just like this guy, and you really can't, it's not really a critique. You really can't give him suggestions on how to improve because he doesn't care. Well, I don't say he doesn't care, it would just ruin it. This kind of channel, this sort of video would totally be ruined if you tried to do anything to it. If you tried any editing or tried any improvement of the sound, it would just all be, it would take away the freshness of it. Which brings to mind, which makes me wonder why we don't see more of this kind of video intentionally. We all get so concerned when we're doing content about all of these tricks and all of these cute things to be quality, to push the quality of our video. We really want to have the lighting just right. We want to have the audio perfect. We want to be framed right in the camera. This guy is showing us that it's refreshing and it's fun just to not care, just to go for it, just to put yourself on camera and go for it. So that's the reason I like him, and I'm going to follow him. I'm going to subscribe to his channel and watch him. And when I buy my RV, I'll follow his advice. It's good stuff. Well, I'll tell you what. Do we want to look at a channel? There is a channel that we can perhaps look at real briefly and see if we can do a review, do a critique. I don't know what anything in here clickable. Look at all these thumbnails. The information that I got from a recent analysis of somebody studied 90,000 channels on YouTube, and they came up with a computerized readout of all this kind of information about top channels on YouTube and what they do, what they have in common. And in terms of thumbnail, what they found out, what they discovered about the top 1% or so of YouTubers is that only 50 some odd percent, 52, 53% use text. All the other thumbnails have no text. So if you stroll through here, it looks like most of these have text. But you'll notice here's a couple that don't. Here's two that don't have text. This one over here has no text. The other thing it saw was that the vast majority of those who used text used up to 3 words. At the most, 3 or 4 words was it. And if you look at these YouTube, these thumbnails as we go through here, you'll notice that most of them stay within that 3 or 4 word limitation. Now, some of them don't. Some of them certainly break the rule. It's not a rule. It's just a study that somebody did of all the top videos and looking at their thumbnails and their titles, and these are the things that they discovered in terms of majority. So it's okay to have a thumbnail with no text. What you're trying to do, though, with that image is to get that person to click on your video. So the image has to provide some curiosity or some kind of information to make you want to click. Like this one here. It's got no text. All it shows is his hand holding this DJI, look at the title, it says DJI 360 video. I guess it's a camera, video camera. And well, let's see. Just do these 3 things. Exactly how to go from 0 to 10,000 a month as a creator. I don't like the 10,000 a month promise there. Let's be a little bit more realistic, people. Anytime I see somebody promoting 10,000 a month or 20,000 a month, or you can make $5,000 in a day, I skip right over them. I want them to be a little bit more realistic, be a little bit more honest. All right, here is one up that we can look at right here. This is Mark Waters. Mark Waters has his own unique style. And if we look at his thumbnail and his title, what do you think of that? He does have 2 words. He's got text. Well, he's actually got podcast episode 02. He's got the podcast down at the bottom where it's numbered. Podcast episode 02. Creator experience. He's got creator. He's got the text going behind him, which is kind of a trend. You see a lot of creators doing this now. Is they're putting that text, some text behind their figure. It just shows sort of something a little different. And it's a talking head video. It's him sitting behind his desk talking, and that's it. He has no special effects or any sort of sound effects or any cuts or any editing. It's just him behind the table talking. That's his particular style. It really is a podcast in that sense. And this particular title is How I Built a YouTube Business in Just 8 Months. Something else this study of all these YouTube channels in the top 1% found was that using the first person I is not as common as you would think. The majority of the top YouTubers in their titles stay neutral. In other words, they don't go first person and say, I built a YouTube channel. They don't go third person and in the title say, here's how you can build a YouTube business. They stay neutral. Now, how could this title be framed more neutral and not going with the first person? Well, he could say something just like, build a YouTube business in just 8 months. That would be the title. That would be a neutral title. Or how to build a YouTube business in just 8 months. And that would be to take the I out of it. Something about first person in the title is not as evidently applicable as staying neutral. Well, let's watch a little bit of his video so you get a sense of his style.
My friend, welcome back to the channel. So this is episode 2 of the solo podcast thing that I'm doing. And I've decided to do one of these a month from now on. So it's going to be more of like a slower, sort of more laid back, more conversational moment between you and I, where I can just give you a little bit more insight into what's been happening on the channel, what's been happening in my life, and kind of what's been happening as I've been building up this awesome, cool, sustainable business that I've been building over the last 9 months. So this is month 9. So I'm going to just give you a little bit of an update of where I've been, because the last month has just been absolutely insane. It's been kind of monumental for me, to be honest, because...
Okay, what do you think so far? Now, his palette, his video style is supposed to be calming. It's supposed to be nice and quiet, easygoing, sort of mellow, sort of, get you some pot, sit on the couch, be cool, laid back, smoke some weed while you're listening. That's the vibe I'm getting. But it's awful dark. And I guess he wants it that way, because all of his videos are dark like this, where you can just barely see him. It's almost like he's in the shade or in the shadows.
Everything that I've been working towards over the last sort of 8-9 months sort of pivoted to a moment where everything just started to really work out. So I'm going to tell you all about that and let you know where I'm at, where I've come from and all that sort of stuff. And again, this is just an opportunity for me to just invite you a little bit deeper into my own story and all that sort of stuff. So yes, I will be talking a little bit more about myself today. And this is just purely to create more of a more connection between you and I. So all the videos that I create on my channel, they're all offered in a way to take you through some sort of micro transformational experience where I can, take you through small...
He said a micro transitional experience. Micro transitional experience, okay. Someone define that for me. A micro... Is that what he said?
conflict that you may be having. I'll take you from confusion to clarity. So all my videos are always aimed at helping you through this process as you move through this mad sort of like complicated space of trying to build up an authentic online presence through long form YouTube, and yeah. So today I just thought like I would just offer a little bit more, just a little bit more of myself. So if that's something that you're after, awesome. If not, you don't have to stick around for that. If you just want some like actionable advice or something like that, that's not what I'm going to be doing today. But I think some of the insights.
Now, I think I've watched him a couple of times, and he likes to look down to the right. He likes to look down this way. And I'm thinking, now I could be totally mistaken, and it's not a criticism at all. It's just a way it's a method he's using. When he looks down this way, I think he's got a laptop or some sort of computer screen down here under the table that's hidden. That's got his bullet points, got his notes. And it's a way that he can check his notes off camera and do it in such a casual way that it doesn't become that noticeable. Because if his notes were in front of him, under the camera, we would see his eyes dart down. But when you look off to the side like he does, it's almost like a natural thing to do, of just looking off to the side like I'm thinking of something here, and he's actually just looking at his notes.
That happen behind the scenes are often even more valuable than just like 3 steps or whatever it is.
Let's see how often he looks down that direction.
We might be doing in this space. So yeah, so for those of you that might be, new to the channel, maybe this is your first video or you've watched a couple before, I'll just give you a little bit of an intro to what's been going on. So I started this channel 9 months ago, and I posted the first video towards the end of January. No subscribers, no views, completely brand new channel. And the idea was that I was going to completely build this audience from scratch, organically. No ads, none of that sort of stuff. I haven't shared this channel anywhere outside of this community. So I think we're coming up to 19,000 subscribers now. So all of that has happened completely organically. So I'm very stoked with the progress that's been happening.
That's good. All right. He's starting to build an audience. Because he's got a style, and he sticks with the style. He's consistent with that style. You know what you're going to get when you go to his videos. You know what to expect. So that's really important when you're thinking about, especially if you're doing talking head videos where you're basically it's just you and the camera. You want to come up with your own particular unique style and stay with it and be consistent with it, so people know what to expect when they come see you for the day.
3 or 4 people that are actively told not to join my program. So I don't do sales calls. The calls aren't about trying to convince you to be in my program. The calls are for you and I to have a little conversation, have a little chat, to make sure that we connect, because we're going to be working together for 3 months. So there's a vibe check that we need to do. And I'm not, my style is not to try and persuade you into doing this. My style is to kind of persuade you to look deeply, understand whether or not this is the right thing for you right now. Because that's what I want. Those are the kind of people that I want to be working with.
Okay, so he's offering coaching. He's offering a program that you can be a part of. So he's into
probably,
that.
It's probably not going to be, well, you will get that, but in the program there's a lot more. It's a lot deeper. I've got no interest in just teaching, about thumbnails and titles and all that sort of stuff. That is important. It's one phase of the program, but the whole thing it's so much bigger, so much deeper than that. So because I feel like my role here as a human being is to help you, to empower you, to drive impact, to help people, and change lives. And that is what I'm doing here. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, so we get an idea of his style. We've got an idea of his presence on screen. It's very laid back, very easygoing, very authentic. And all of his videos are pretty much the same. Him talking to the camera. Looks like he says he's going to start doing them once a month. Well, let's look at his description. My word, there's his breakdown there. Looks like he's on Instagram. Join the community. Work with me. Okay. Now, comments is where you can really engage with your audience. People take the time to respond to your video. We need to hit the reply. And it looks like he's doing that here. You can see the places where he is replying. Looks like. Yeah. So he's replying to the comments, which is good. That's a way to engage with your followers, with your audience. If they stop long enough to make a comment, you want to acknowledge them and spend time responding in comments. Especially when you've got a YouTube channel that's so personal like this, where it's really built on personal relationships and engagement. All right. How we doing on time for today? Well, we've been at it about an hour, and looks like we're making our way through today's lineup. Again, my name is Mitch. I'm coming to you live from the Lamppost Coffee Shop, Austin, and we're just hanging out, talking YouTube, talking social media. If you're within the viewing audience, jump into chat, say hi. Let me know you're out there. Or drop in the comments. Let me know what's going on. I think what we'll do now is I probably want to jump in here and visit with Gary Vaynerchuk. See what Gary has for us today. I've been going through this video with him. Gary has one of the largest marketing companies in the world. He built it from scratch, he and his brother. He was one of the original content creators who, at the very beginning, when YouTube first went online, he was one of the first to take advantage of it and started creating content for his father, who had a wine business, and he built the wine business for his father into a multi-million-dollar business by content creating on YouTube about wine. Content was like a wine channel, and he would just get on and talk about all kinds of wine and would push sales to his father's wine store. And then he broke away, went his own way, and started his own marketing company, and is a major influencer in the social media marketing place. He speaks at conferences, travels all over the world, has offices all over the world, and he's a New Yorker. He loves the Jets, and he's authentic. He's about as real as you can get. And so let's see what he has to share with us today.
This goes back to like you're in full control. My friends, the number one thing that will change everyone's life is understanding they're in full control. Full control. You are in full control. No one has control over you. Not your boss, not your government, not your mayor, not your fucking governor, not your president, not your mama, not your daddy, not your wife, not your husband, not your boyfriend, girlfriend. Like, you are 100% in control. You just are. So, you know, like, that's it. Like, it's really easy. AJ, come in here real quick. Make sure you're on the screen. This is my brother, AJ. He's in my family. AJ.
Yeah.
Do you consume all of my content that I post on social media?
I do not.
Do you consume any of it?
Yeah.
How much? Real answer.
10 to 15%.
Great. Thank you, AJ.
You're welcome. What was
Bam.
the punchline there?
Punchline's like, if I post a lot, I'm worried that my family will get sick of me. Your family's in control of what they consume. If AJ wants to consume me, great. If he doesn't, great. Am I offended by 10 or 15%? Absolutely not. I'm thrilled. You know, Connor Stiller says, Gary, what's it feel like being 5'4"? Have no idea, because I'm not 5'4", motherfucker. 5'8.5" in your fucking dick. What, bitch?
Oh my
How
gosh.
tall are you, Connor?
Watch your language, Gary.
Motherfucker.
Jeez.
I love you, Con. All right, let's keep it going. Shot says, what happened to the NFT things you used to do? It's fucking crushing. It's called VFriends. I'm completely dominating. I'm building the next Pokemon right in everybody's face, and my NFTs are fucking doing incredibly well considering the market's incredibly soft. So I fucking love it. I'm building it. The Notorious Ninja, to the person that asked, the Notorious Ninja, your grandkids are gonna be wearing a Notorious Ninja fucking hoodie, and you're gonna fucking be like, that fucking Gary Vee got me. You know why? Because I'm not gonna fucking lose. You know why? Because I don't give up. You know why? Because I'm fucking talented. You know why? Because I fucking work. You know why? Because I've been doing it. Love it. All right, we're giving away this Notorious Ninja signed comic book right now for clue where any candidate worked or what college they went to. Rips and I are the two smartest people at VFriends. He skipped college. I went to Mount Ida. Bro, how many fucking people did you interview with? Like, here's the thing. Let me give you the greatest advice in life. Judge the judger. Judge the judger. That is the greatest piece of advice of all time. Think about what this kid's saying. He's 26. He's modern. He's like a grinder, all the good stuff. And now he's sad because traditional businesses aren't taking him or don't think it's a good enough resume. Motherfucker, Chandler, let me Ross you right now. You don't want that job, bro. You don't want the job that's judging you for being contemporary. You don't want the girl that doesn't want you because you don't have enough money. You don't want the guy who's just looking at the aesthetics. You don't want the people that are judging the wrong shit. Judge the judger. And then if that judger is great, take their feedback heavily. And you know, when I'm giving feedback, that it's valuable. I value my mom's feedback. I value people that have done certain things that I admire in a way that is admirable. The fuck is Chandler worried about a fucking conservative job that's built from yesterday not taking him? And you know what the funniest part is, Aaron? I don't think Chandler applied to that many jobs. That's the other thing that's got me all fucked up. People have made... Here's another fucking gem. I'm on fire. You know what? The office might be the right place. I feel like I'm cozy here. Like this is my place.
This is my
Here's
space.
another one.
This is
People
my
have
area.
made unlimited, ironclad decisions based on 2 to 3 pieces of feedback. This dude got 3 no's, maybe 50, by the way. By the way, I know it's not 50, and 50's nothing. He got 50 no's and just people decide like, oh, 3 people didn't buy my comic book. And they're like, well, I shouldn't sell comic books. 3 girls didn't want to go on a date with me. Oh, I'm not like good. Like, I did a Whatnot show and only sold $6, like twice. Oh, like it's not for me. Oh, here's my favorite one. I've posted 16 times on Instagram and I haven't gone viral. The algorithm's fucked or I suck. People fucking take no data and make definitive forever lifetime decisions.
That's so true. Wow. There's some good advice there. Judge the judger. You know, when people get into comments or they get into chat, they start making fun of your videos or making fun of the way your hair looks, judge the judger. And the idea that you can make a video and put it on YouTube and it only gets 50 views, and all of a sudden you throw up your hands and you think I'm going to quit. This is ridiculous. Or if you're like me, you do, what are we on, number 29? You do 29 live streams, and you get a trickle in chat. You can hardly get anybody in chat. 29 streams. Now I'm going to throw up my hands and say, oh, live streaming's not for me. We make all of these massive, life-changing decisions based on such little data. He is so right about that. You've just got to hang on. So you're discouraged today. Don't be discouraged. Be positive. If you enjoy what you're doing, keep doing it. Things will eventually pay off. That's the bottom line. Well, I've been at this now about an hour and 10 minutes, so I think it's time for me to go. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, Thursday morning, November the 13th, 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time from Austin, and we'll be here to continue our talk about social media, YouTube, and anything else that may come up. So join us then. And until then, this is Mitch, and I am out.
I thank you for watching today. I'll see you again soon.
And when you ba-da-ba-da-ba